no, just not press the cap power enough and the rest of them are okay. That's quite good, I just haven't got the press power enough. Press it down.
You are perfectionists. When I listen to you, I've got 1 point up. I've lost a problem.
You want it, any point to us.
Look, it's well and truly out. He's got a great look.
It's well out, it's me.
Yes.
Oh, I love you, Fran. She was saying it was, smiling eyes. Mine was not very close to me. Put a tissue in it, just like you get on back on it. What was that saying your gift on me? That line plan on it? Galloping horse. Galloping horse. Not a camel.
Right, now, if we could sort of, again, gather around over here, a few of you maybe pull up some chairs and just so that you can all see.
But this is great, yeah, if you don't mind.
Oh, you don't mind my sitting on it?
This in my car.
I don't know what I really like if they do.
Yeah, short people sitting in front, tall people in back, you know who you are. Yes, those two.
You can't act like you should go on to that.
You watch there. Well, most people don't.
And I say,
Oh, no, snorkeling.
Oh, snorkeling, sorry, snorkeling, even worse. Right, okay, just as a little aside, what I'd like to do here is show you this method that I did the leaves. The leaves around the outside of this quilt were not done with the invisible machine applique. I intended to do it. My silly son got ill. It turned out he had some weird strain of measles, ended up in the hospital for days, and this quilt was juried into quilt 99, and I had to have it done to be photographed in 2 weeks' time. I did not have the time to cut out, turn edges under, invisible applique and all that. So in my sort of panic of what am I going to do, I decided I'm just going to stick them on. Now, I'm not a big fan of bonding web, and I didn't want to use normal glues. So I came up with a technique to do these, which I did it out of frustration, and it actually turned out quite well. All of these leaves on here, you have or you will have, they're all behind you in a little pile, the instructions on these, and you have the patterns for the leaves. You will get these for the 4 different leaves. The demo one I'm going to do is this one here, and what I've done is I have traced this. You also will get a background fabric, a leaf, and a little bit of wadding. It's a sort of trapunto effect is what you're getting with this. And what I have done is put wadding behind my backing, stitched around my leaves, trimmed it, stipple quilted around it to hold it on, no glue, no bonding web, and then I used a thicker thread to do these heavier veins, throughout the whole piece. The key to this that you need to use is this product. It looks like invisible thread. It is not. It is indeed I put the wrong one. That's your thread. You're trying to make it look bad. No, it's yours, sorry. Right. This is the one I meant. This is what you need to use. It looks like the invisible thread, but it's not. This is wash-away thread. Okay? You know it's wash-away thread because if you do that and it suddenly isn't there anymore, yeah, it just dissolves. Very, very, very irritating.
Don't thread your needle.
Yeah, well, see what's happening here, obviously, yeah, you do not lick it to thread the needle. But you can see, even with damp hands, taking it off, there were a few places it stuck. It is just spun glue.
It's meant for things like you can temporarily put in a zipper, if you're doing some adjustments on clothing, you can sew it first and then it washes out. If you're gonna be sewing on silk or taffeta, or sometimes pink threads leave marks, you can use this instead and it does just wash out. But it's a bit of a prima donna to sew with, so you want to be careful with it. I always put it on the vertical upright pin as well.
You haven't been selling it over there. I'd hate to think I'd picked it up.
Yeah, it
by
was
mistake.
it's a little bit of a surprise. Something's catching down
Yeah.
there.
Yes.
You know, just
Yeah. When you go home with your steam iron.
I'm not actually watching my automatic thread on it, it doesn't dissolve in
No,
there.
the automatic threaders and I don't get on very well. They only work on size 80-12 needles or larger, because the little blade that actually goes in is of a size that doesn't fit in 70 or 60 needles. And you have to get it just right, to hold it taut and let go at just the right moment.
And then
Some,
those springs out.
yeah, some work brilliantly, some don't. I'm going to take her foot off and put her darning foot on instead. Very easy to change the feet underneath machines. And then we're going to drop the feed dogs. So her dogs are down. I'm going to put the wadding behind the fabric. This is a little thin, there's various different waddings I have there. I thought I picked up a big piece of chunky wadding, but I didn't, so la-di-da, don't worry about it. This is the shape of my leaf that I've cut out from the pattern. Would somebody just go and iron that on the front of that fabric? Because all this is going to do is give me the shape to cut out. So I'm going to iron the freezer paper on, cut out, can I borrow your scissors?
Yeah.
Iron it on, cut out around it, and take the freezer paper away, so that's dead easy. I'm not very good at drawing leaves. These leaves are actually picked up from outside my house and traced around, so Mother Nature made the leaves, not me.
True.
They are true leaves, yes. Luckily, they were basically of the right size. And I don't even worry about cutting them exactly, because you know, every leaf in nature is a little bit different. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So I'm just using this to cut out my basic shape. Right, scrap fabric, take the freezer paper off, and lay the leaf down on my background, making sure that the wadding is behind the leaf everywhere. Move it down just a little bit, okay? Now I want to get the leaf to stick. So the first thing I'm going to do, I am hopeless quilting without my quilting gloves, so you'll have to just bear with me. Ever since I discovered these, I am doomed without them. So many people end up, when they're machine quilting, grabbing things like this, and then they wonder why things don't lay flat. I find this really, really helps. So all I'm going to be doing here is stitching back and forth, like this, to hold the leaf on. Is it stitching? No, it's not stitching. Don't you love when that happens? It's all these people watching you and things go wrong. I wondered, because something was sticking in here. Ah.
I haven't got my rubber.
Right.
I haven't got my rubber.
Well, even your hold-on-y thing.
Yes, it's a big one
In where, yeah.
It's the one there.
Oh, that'll do, thank you very much.
Yes, that's the one I put on. I have got a phone
Yeah.
one, but I don't know where it is.
That's fine, it must have grabbed on that.
My sponge. It's a rubbishing machine.
Now you tell me. You couldn't have mentioned that when I said, may I use your machine to demo?
Well, you used it before, it was like.
The wash-away thread, I'll warn you, is a bit pricey. And on the big spools, I don't think is the best way to get it. I think Sulky sells it on smaller spools, because if it's around too long, especially in this country where it's quite damp, sometimes it just solidifies, and you don't want to pay £7-8 for a spool of thread like this. Yeah, and then suddenly have it turn into a solid piece of glue. Ask me how I know it does that. You don't want to be sneezing when you're using it either. It's all sorts of fun things. Anyway, is he happy now? Oh, isn't that